little delay at the end there. Just cut it. And this is actually one of the new features that came in 2.5 with Presonus, which was really cool, where you can add the effect right onto just the clip. A little delay here. So this edit was already pre-done. Then it has an outro already. So here comes the fun stuff. Now we're going to add an original song and we're going to create an actual edit out of it while we do the mix. So we're going to use Eddie Santiago. So the song is at 94, so I just let the software know I changed it to 95. And I like to work right on the actual grid, so I move things around where I can make sure everything is set up right on the grid, so when I cut and paste and copy, everything stays on beat. So let's put the down. Right there's the downbeat. Obviously it's off beat. So we got to go in and fine tune it. It's a little bigger. It's back. Take off the grid. So, like most salsas, they do go off beat, so now you have to go in and kind of split, cut, and line them up so that they stay on beat the whole time. What I like to do is also make sure that the song blends in, so that when the percussion leaves from the outro, it doesn't sound like just like you cut the song. It kind of just blends in with the original. So that's what I'm going to do now. First I line it up and then I blend it in. So this song here is off beat. Another great feature of the Presonus Studio One is the fact that you can time stretch right as you go and put everything on beat. So there it starts going off beat. This is a great feature especially for a lot of the salsas or the old merengues, that you can just line them up right away. See, there it goes off. You see it right there. So some of this work is a little tedious, but it's what's gonna make the mix sound nice and smooth. right now I'm just cutting and time stretching. And then I can do a little crossfade there so you don't hear it. And that's the last beat. So I want to make sure that that's right on the grid. And again, not all the DJs do this. I just prefer to do this because I want to make sure that it sounds like perfect. So I like to fine tune all these little details. So now that it's on beat, I can start, fading it out and kind of making it sound like it's part of the song. So I added just a curve fade out, but I'm also going to add an EQ just to kind of take a little bit of the high frequency off. I'm going to turn that on.
Now, obviously, they're all like Hispanic music. Is it easier for you to mix them, or like English music?
Well, English music is a lot easier, but just because it's just kind of steady beats, and most of the songs have similar tempos. Latin music is, is kind of all over the place. And as you see, even the track that, it says it's 94 beats per minute, but it's not really on, every beat. So you have to go in and cut and kind of line everything up. And that takes a lot more time than if I was just to take two dance records and put them together, do a bass cut and go in and out. So Latin music is a lot tougher because there's a lot more elements involved, and most of the recordings are not really on beat, precise. Different qualities, they're recorded at different times, and some of the stuff is so old that they weren't recorded really good, so you have to deal with all the quality differences. So there I just did like a little fade out and also a high cut on the filter so that it could kind of not sound so it could kind of blend in a little better with the other song. What I'm gonna do is just turn it on right there. It's the opposite. So I'm just turning on the effect just at the end. And again, I'll go back once I finish the mix and add like lasers and crashes and things like that, just to make it, it's kind of like the frosting on top with the mix. So we'll move on. So now we have to. This is the original song. And it's really long, so I have to kind of pick where I'm gonna mix out of it. And with Latin music, it's not like the American music where you can just edit it and get right to the part that you want. A lot of times, there's gonna be certain songs that you're gonna have to cut out, half the track, because it's the only way for you to get out of it. So this here, I'm actually just gonna play a little bit of it. that part right there, that's where I'm gonna cut the song. And if you were probably in a club, you would be mad at me because that's the part everybody dances. But if I let it go, it's gonna be harder to get out of it to where, you know, where I need to be. And since this is a mix that's for the radio station, then it's a little different if you're doing a mix for a nightclub. Let's just get this right on the bar here. Alright. Let's put that right there. So I'm going to go in and add another loop, salsa loop. Again, a lot of people ask, you know, where you get these. You can definitely search online. There's a lot of websites that sell the packs. Or if you know somebody that is a musician, give them a couple bucks and have them record all kinds of loops for you. And that's also a good way to get percussions.
What if you want to make your own loops? How can you make
You could, and actually, Studio One has a really good a kit, like an actual kit that comes on the Presence plugin that you can actually, you know, has like, you know, all the elements for you to create the salsa percussions. I'm not really a musician, so I don't know how to play the congas and all that stuff. So I use loops. But that's another thing. If you know somebody that is a musician, and if you have a software like Studio One, they can come in and play all the parts to make it sound real, and then you can save those files and use them whichever way you want. These files actually that I'm using here, I got from, where did I get these from? Got these from my brother, DJ Creme. He's in Miami, and he has somebody that that actually plays instruments and give him these loops. So these are really good. So let's see here. Let's play some of these. Yeah, so this was recorded at 90, and then I have a version that's at 95. That's good. Just drag this in. And these are just raw percussion, so a lot of times, you know, I'll beef them up, add EQ to make it sound like it's part of the original song. It's cool because it has like all the fill-ins. So like that right there is cool. So I could just split it up and just use that. Just line it up. So I'm gonna go in and first line it up. So this is the part that, you know, it is a little tedious, again, because lining stuff up, making sure that these things are on beat. Just use it. For some reason, I never, you know, I don't save the loops. So like the next time I'll grab that same percussion, and it's the percussion to a whole song. So I might grab a different piece of it. I don't really save it and just kind of save just that one loop, which I really should, because it would save me time. But I feel like sometimes it works out better if you just pick whichever ones you're in the mood to listen to. Let's take the metronome off. So right now it sounds like this. So first thing we're gonna do is just normalize. Let's do that again, normalize the percussion. And we are going to give this a little cool effect. So let's do some cutting up. I'm just cutting every 32nd of a beat. And then I'm going to go in and delete every other one. And that's going to create that like transforming effect. And then because I want to get to this next bar, I still have a lot more to go, so I could just take and just copy and paste, duplicate. There you go. And now we're gonna add a filter. So now in this part, what I found was some great loops, sort of a fill-in right inside the percussion. So that's the original edit. On top of the percussion, I'm going to add a little bit more of effects using the Pioneer RMX 1000. I use this a lot more in the studio than I do live, just because I really like the effects, and it's really handy for you to kind of test stuff out. So usually what I do is I test it out, and then I like to draw in the automation just to get it nice and precise. But it's cool because you get a hands-on feel of something like that. Just open it up here. Let's try it again. So I like that. So I'm just gonna. I like to draw it in because Studio One has some really great drawing tools to get it really precise, rather than trying to record it live, and you know, if you mess up you gotta redo it. So once I get the feel for it, then I just draw it in.
Now, was that a specific part of the song that you wanted to put that effect on, or? Yeah,
just basically the acapella intro, this part here. So instead of having that dry voice, it's gonna have the delay kind of building up to it, and then at the end it's gonna have sort of the break effect from the Pioneer RMX. So I'm just first I draw in the actual, basically the scene volume. And then I draw in the actual release, which would be the break effect. And what I did was I put the acapella on another channel. So I want it a little bit quicker. A little bit lower. This up a little bit. Let's get the release. Alright, so once I have that, now it sounds like this. That just gives a little bit more of a building effect, and then it gets into the song. And once I add a couple lasers and stuff in there, it'll really smooth it out. But I do that at the end.